welkom hier op Leeuwfontein, saam met Brooks en Danie. So we're here in white corn trials that we plant for Panna and Decalb, and there's also some pioneer varieties in here. This was planted very late, but you can see most of the germination already happened. The
Pollination. I'd reckon
pollination and germination, yeah. So pollination.
Pollination isn't finished. I can feel it in my eyes.
So you can see that the plant health is much better than where we were over at the yellow trials.
Yep.
Is there any other significant things that you pick up in this white corn trials? Because we plant quite a lot of white corn in South Africa. The staple food is made from white corn for the guys over in the US. So probably half of what we plant in South Africa is white corn. It does really well. Sometimes I even get better yields, close to half a ton better yields on my white corn than on yellow corn. But it's a much more consistent yield for me.
That's an 8 bushel. You can get like an 8 bushel increase over.
That's
interesting.
So is there anything that you pick up that interests you, or you?
The first thing I pick up is the stand and the singulation. And I hate to say it, but it is planted with a case planter.
It is.
But yeah, the singulation's really good. I don't know how in the hell that happened. But yeah, that's number one. Yeah, great spacing. Number two is the health. Yeah, really, really healthy. And honestly, there's no comparison after coming out of that yellow corn over here, the white corn. This is very, very clean corn. Yeah, and a lot prettier corn. And it's crazy to know that over here that it's yielding better than the yellow. That's the opposite at home. A lot of guys, I've not planted white corn, just going off. I got a lot of neighbors that are good farmers and say it's pretty close, but it just won't quite keep up with yellow at home.
I do think we've got a bigger active breeding program on white corn than we might have on yellow. I think maybe they're close to each other, but there's a lot more going into white corn genetics than going on in the States.
Yeah,
and I think that just shows you the impact of being active in breeding. That can make and break. And I also have to tell you, I planted the field on the other side with my planter, and I do have an idea what's going on here. And I know in the yellow trial where we were at earlier, the differences between the planters that we're running, and a planter can make or break. And the planter is really it is important. To get your planter set up right, because that's also one of those things. It can influence the data at the end of the day. But it's still one of those things. Apart from liming your soil, the planter is really important.
Oh yeah, attention to detail on the planters. You got to make sure everything's right.
Yeah. So the other day we spoke, and you said, I know you tested the red planter in your beans, and then we spoke about like the furrow between the case and like the John Deere. You said you prefer like the furrow from the case, but I know you're a green guy. Also, I don't have anything against the green planter, but I do feel the case planter might be a bit superior, but you might even get a green planter set in a way that it'll perform with a red. So I don't care about the color. It's proof of principles. That needs to be correctly. Why would you say you'd prefer let's call it a true bottom versus a V?
When that seed sets in there, I want them to all set the same direction, the same spot. When I don't have that true bottom, I guess you call it like the W effect in the bottom of that trench, and the seed can be on top of that, on the left side of it or the right side of it. So, there's just a variety, and it's not a lot, but it don't take a lot to affect that even emergence.
Yeah. We used to run John Deere planters also for a long time, and now I've got a red planter. I've got a DBX as well. I don't know if I showed you all the planters, but I showed you the equalizer that we have, and I think over in the States now there are a few of them running and going around, and I think you should get your hands on one if you just to see how South African built technology, because that equalizer also it makes the same two trench at the bottom like the case does, and it's also it's compatible with all precision planting stuff, so it'll be nice to to get some feedback on that. So I don't know.
I would really like that, because at the Green Day that I attended, there was several guys talking about the equalizer planters and how much they love those planters. So yeah, I would love to try it on our farm.
Yeah. So, and then I want to ask you a question on just the fertility placement. I know, well, we spoke about it on the Green Day, and that's one of those discussions like a Toyota and a Ford. We all know Ford is superior, but Toyota guys don't want to bullshit. So, with efficiency and just getting back to, let's say you've got balanced soils, do you think there's still efficiency in coming out of banding than when you've got, let's say, lower fertility soils that's not up to where you want it to be? Do you think there's still the amount to be gained from banding fertility in better soils than in poorer soils?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think there is a lot of yield banding fertilizer, especially from the start, so that plant can get that balanced nutrients. Even though, like you said, your fertility levels are higher, but still, I like banding. If your fertility levels are higher, yeah, you could back down on that banding, but still, there's value in that just to get that plant off to the best start.
Efficiency.
Yep, a big deal.
Johann, questions for you now.
Yes.
Oh, you need to ask some questions.
What's some questions?
When are you going to start farming?
This is just a hobby for me. But I'm considering taking it full time. If and when I get through this tough season. So, but yeah, I think one of the things that we see a lot in white corners, there's a lot fewer rows than on yellow corn. So we get much heavier kernels, and I don't know what the specific characters on white corn there over at your guys is. Is it much less the same as the yellow corn, or
I can't answer.
there bigger differences?
I can't answer
Because the way the grading works with us, they don't only penalize you on bad kernels that's gone rotten or infected with fungi and stuff like that. They also penalize you on the size of the kernel. So if they're under a certain size, they get graded down to a grade 2. And then of course you get a loss. You get paid less than for grade 1 corn. But with white corn, they are more susceptible to diseases,
Grading issues.
but not when it comes to size, the kernel sizes, because they have a lot less rows. The kernel filling, it's much
Depth.
heavier and bigger, and the depth is much more. So we easily get graded down for the quality, but not for the size. And with the yellow, with a 24 row or 22 or even a 20 row, when you get stuck in a difficult season and there's no rain and you can't get rainfall, you might have beautiful corn, but it all gets downgraded to a second grade corn. And I think it's a bit unfair that they penalize us with that, because you still get the same quality. If you put it through the mill, it's all the same. But they like to steal money from us any way they can. So I'm sure it's the same there by you as well. And you guys, you have the same type of struggles and difficulties, if any. So I don't know if you can tell us about that.
Yeah, we do. I mean, we are a lot different on where our market's at, because the majority of our corn goes to a turkey mill, which is ground.
Yeah.
As soon as they use it, they grind it and then they hammer it into a pellet to feed Kevin's turkeys.
Yes.
So,
So actually, Kevin's turkey, that holy shit, comes from you.
yeah, I mean, I'm the start of Kevin's success. His book is it's our corn feeds his turkeys. So, but no, I mean, I'm sure some of it comes from there, but who knows? But no, it's so yeah, we're not getting.
You have way more leniency.
Yeah, we do. We really do. Our biggest problem is with moisture. It gets certain stage, then they cut you off. But as far as white corn, if guys are out there harvesting with high moisture, the biggest problem is just getting it dried without stress cracking it. And a lot of that's done by just after you heat it, you want to slowly cool it back down. So a lot of the cooling is done in the bin and just at a slow rate. But other than that, I can't even tell you about the size of kernels. I've not heard them talk about that. But yeah, it's interesting to hear what you guys are against. So that's something that, I'd like to talk to them about.
Okay, so now I've got a question. We're going to limit you to 30 minutes on this. This question was also asked at the Green Day. It's our topic. Soil biology and biological products. Adding it to the soil, adding it not. I already know the answer, but I just want to, we need to get your opinion and chat about it. And remember, this is our podcast. You need to say the word fuck at least 2 times. So,
yeah, I'm going to speak off experience because I've tried adding several different biologies. Bug in a jug, just
snake oils.
Yeah,
Listen, so let's just stop there. We need to teach you an Afrikaans word. Vispis.
Vispis.
That's what we call snake oil.
Okay. Yeah, basically that's what they are. I got no response. I mean, basically, the soil biology that you currently have is so strong, so dominant.
Okay, can I just, before you go on, I just want to ask you,
guys
because
keep
you,
interrupting me.
yes, I know, but I'm going to forget this. You pay a lot of attention to your soil biology, and do you think you didn't get a kick out of it because you already at a certain stage where the levels of your field biology is that good that you won't see the kick? Where at here by me, there's places where I think I might get it.
If you need to go to Iran now at this moment with dead soils, would adding biology make a difference? So it's yours now.
When I added it on my lower yielding stuff that I'm struggling with my biology.
Yeah.
So I've got several tests there, and still my numbers are no different.
Okay.
But when I first started getting a bump, it's just on feeding, where I could see where I was feeding the biology that I had. That's the first. And when I'm testing, we're doing soil tests, just testing how many numbers we have. And so that's when I started seeing numbers go up.
You do like a B crop test or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of test you call it, but Cassidy is the one that done the test, so I don't know where she sent them to.
We'll ask her.
Yeah, we'll have to ask
So
her.
that's to get her back in South Africa.
But that's when we were adding the Phycoterra to soil, just an algae, just a biology, just something to feed what we have. And
that type of algae, it's just to feed. Let's put it like this. All the soils does have a level of biology. You take like a piece of virgin ground. The composition of that biology was created by what was grown on top of it. Let's say it was native grass or whatever. Now you come in and you put corn or beans on there. You still don't have the required biology because, the exudates from the plant will signal biology in the soil. This is what we need. Mm-hmm. So it's still, the biology is going to be there, but you're not going to have the amount required yet. So now it's rather better to feed that biology than adding biology, because how do you know which ones are present and which ones are not? So you can have it measured in the lab, but who's going to tell the soil the best what it needs? It's going to be the crop that you're going to be growing. So rather feed that biology sugar, and I think like that algae from Phycoterra.
Yep. And then at the same time, just keeping your soil fertility where it needs to be, feeding the plant, keeping the plant healthy. And like you said, with the exudates, that plant's sending exudates to the biology that it's needing. So it's doing a lot of the process itself. You just got to keep it healthy and keep the fertility right.
And it comes back to, I think, the less tillage you're going to do, because carbon is that's the food source.
And carbon is a big deal too.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where we throwing out copious amounts of turkey shit makes a big difference.
With bedding in it.
With bedding in it, yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's a good carbon source.
And that's where, our winter wheat, even though it's not my favorite crop, but it does build a lot of carbon in our soils. And that's.
Tell us about your double crop beans that you had.
Yes, please.
That followed the
wheat.
winter wheat. And just tell us about your soybean fertility plan.
So there's not a lot in our soybean fertility plan. It's just everything that the wheat does to the soil. And, our rotation on our irrigated ground is corn, followed by winter wheat. And then we've got enough heat units, enough growing time left to double crop in our area, thankfully. And we just no-till right into that wheat straw, and we can grow some really, really good soybeans. And basically, the fertility plan is just what's left from the wheat program, and then what the wheat's pumped in the soils, just how the wheat's built the soils is what feeds the beans. So we've raised some 60, 70 bushel double crops.
Modest. If you lie, we keep you, yeah.
So no, we grow some good wheat too. We've had 100 bushel wheat and sometimes a little more, and 55 to 70 bushel double crops. So that's making a little bit of money.
It's fine. We take dollars.
We just want to borrow some dollars from seeing that you're not going back to the
I
United
would, but I'm running a little short on these extra days.
Well, I'll have to give you a job then for the next 2 days until we fly out.
Okay.
Maybe do we have time to go over to the beans, or I want to ask you just one or two bean questions maybe now. Oh,
There at the back.
I think
The soybean king's gonna ask
The
soybean
king,
the
the
soybean
watermelon king.
retard a question. Do you be interesting?
Do you recognize the crop?
so. I'm saying you did 70 bushel beans. What went wrong?
We double cropped it. Nothing.
The key to the soybeans that I look for is just no different than what I look for in corn at the start.
Yeah.
I want that proper spacing. I want the even emergence. And we have been actually lowering our populations a little bit, finding hybrids that are shorter and, more branching. That's really the only management that I put into it. And fungicides, of course. But now what I've learned with you and getting to ride with you in a sprayer and see some of your foliar programs, and
when you saw the beans that we were in yesterday, and we stopped when we got out there, and we did speak about a few things there. Is there something that you're gonna try? Let's let's talk about population and row width.
Yeah, so seeing Danie's and most people out here's 30-inch rows, and how you're keeping them short to get that sunlight down in that canopy has been interesting. And seeing the pod counts on 30-inch row soybeans is awesome. And yeah, we've tried it. It's been several years back. And if the spring allows, where I can get out there early before I'm ready to plant corn and put some soybeans in, I think we need to try some more after what I've seen on your farm. Because that sunlight is everything, just like corn, and get that sunlight down in that canopy, and it's amazing. The clusters of pods down low in the plant, we see them at top where they're getting the sunlight. I don't see big clusters from the bottom up.
In the shade.
Yeah. Yep.
I showed him some possible 300 bushel beans.
Just wait.
We drink.
Grow it on your own farm.
I'll wear them all for them. But yeah, no, and just the last thing. I've told a few guys in the state that the sun over here, even though it's the same sun, it's not the same sun. We need to ask Nikki that. He's over there hiding. I think sun burnt her to death.
Yeah, she got a little burnt. The sun is a little closer here than it is at home. Definitely, you can tell a difference.
Much higher up, yeah.
Yeah.
Elevation, I think the elevation over here, where we are at now is 1,600 feet. Feet above sea level.
If you want to convert it, do it yourself. You've got a lot of time. You're going back home today.
I think
Yeah,
it's
but-
there. So,
but-
times 3.
And that's one of the advantages that we have, even though it's the same sun, but we fill our grain way easier. We get bigger seed size on beans just from the way we're catching sun.
Right.
And I think, I don't want to say kernel weight on corn, well, it does influence it, but on beans, beans being C3 plants, looking at the whole way they go through the process of producing sugars and photosynthate, I think the sun, we are lucky that we can get away with bigger seeds without trying to push fertility to promote bigger seeds.
Yeah.
But on that note, I think the sun's
Yeah.
setting then.
Let's
No,
go over to the beans, and then we'll see what these two wise men can tell us about that.
Sounds good.
Check.
But buddy,
5354 hierdie kant.
yeah, but I don't know if we're going to film over there. Maybe we might put in like 5 minutes, but if we don't, we just want to thank you for being the nice guy that you are. Wink, 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 wink. No, thank you. And I know you've got a lot of followers here in South Africa. And the inspiration that you're putting out there, and also making guys question things and why, how, and then making them change their way of farming, And we enjoy the show, the Love to Farm show and everything. And checking up on you on social media, and not just to you, but Nikki and the kids at home. You've got good kids. Just saying that because I want watermelon again if I come back. And Brandon,
Yeah.
I don't like Brandon.
He's weird.
Yeah. I've seen him with the Mexicans.
Yeah, you got to say something nice about Chelsea though, because
Chelsea was really nice.
Yeah.
Chelsea, we're going to get you over to South Africa. We need to take you to Nando's. Nando's, if you like Chick-fil-A, Nando's is going to be better. So, yeah, Chelsea, we love you.
Yeah,
More than we love Brooks.
I also want to tell you that I think farmers always look for something easier, but you are the other way around. I think your setup on your farm, it's difficult to double crop and to have the diversity in crops that you do have, because you have the watermelons and then the corn and the wheat and the soybeans and everything, and there's no easy way during a season. It needs to be managed very well. So, but you're making stuff work that otherwise wouldn't have worked. That sandy soils of you that you have, I don't think it would have been that successful if you didn't do everything that you're doing at the moment. So the efficiency with how you're farming, I think that's the one thing that every farmer across the world can take away from what you're doing is there's no easy way, but there is a right way or a better way to do stuff.
it's attention to detail farming.
Yes.
Just, you got to make sure everything's right as much as possible. Sometimes the weather trumps you and bombs you.
And sometimes Trump bombs you.
But
And the weather.
but yeah, you just got to work with that as much as you can, and when that plant needs something, you got to be there for it. There's no days off.
And management, I think some farmers try to do everything themselves, and the way that you and your brother and the boys on the farm each have their own responsibilities. I think that's also a big key to the success. Everyone needs to know what they should be doing,
Yep.
and everyone takes responsibility for that task, and they are doing it to the best that they can. So the whole setup that you have over there, it's the perfect example for me of how good farming can be done. But it's not it's difficult. It's hard work. It takes up all your time. So yeah, thank you for tapping some of that time out and being here with
I
us.
appreciate the kind words. Yeah, we work hard at it. We love what we do, but we're far from perfect, and we're always working to do better.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it fun. If we had it all figured out, it'd get boring.
Yeah,
I mean, we'd be like Danie.
Danie and Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, we're still working to improve. So
Thank you very much.
thank you.